Hi guys, I'm Michelle with The Recipe Bandit, and today we're going to be making something just a little bit different. Today we're going to be making one of the top recipes on our website for the last about 4 or 5 years running. A recipe for keto cheese crisps or baked cheese. This is a super easy recipe. It takes a little time, it takes a little patience, but the results are really great. And by adding things to the cheese slices, to the baked cheese when you make it, you can make them your own. And so we are going to make up some keto cheese crisps or some baked cheese, show you guys how easy it is, and then we're going to customize them a little bit just to make them interesting. So you are going to need some special equipment for this recipe. The first thing that you're going to need is thin cheese slices. You can make these cheese crisps with the thicker cheese slices. But for this recipe, the way that we do it, we buy the ultra thins, we cook them in the oven for 35 minutes. If you're using the thicker ones, your time's going to vary. We have had people report back on the website and say that they did it for 60 minutes with the regular cheese and it worked out just fine. But for this recipe, for this demonstration today, and for what we suggest on our website, we use the ultra thin cheese slices. It doesn't matter what flavor. This happens to be mild cheddar. I prefer sharp cheddar, but they didn't have any. So you need the cheese slices. You're also going to need some nonstick parchment paper. This is Costco. Seems like I shop at Costco a lot. Anyway, this is the Costco version. But any nonstick parchment paper that is made especially for baking can be used, or you can use silicone baking mats. That is fine too. But do know that if you try to use wax paper or any other kind of paper, it's going to stick and it's a disaster and you don't want that. So we have here some baking trays and some cooling racks. If you have your parchment paper, your cheese slices, your baking racks, and your cooling racks, you are ready to go. What I have here also is some everything bagel seasoning. Like I said, we're going to make them a little interesting. We have some kosher salt and pepper. We have some super thin sliced little jalapenos. These ones are very, very spicy, so that's why they're super thin. And then I'm also going to pull out some garlic powder. And when we make these, we're going to make different varieties using these seasonings. You don't have to do this at all. You don't have to do this at all. You can just do the cheese slices like I'm going to show you, bake them in the oven on the parchment, create your cheese crisps. They are delicious even if you don't add anything. But I like to make it interesting. So that's what we're going to do. So I have set the cooling racks aside for right now, and I have cut parchment paper to fit these baking sheets. The parchment paper is going to keep your cheese from sticking to the pan. We'll set those guys aside for right now, and we'll get to talking about the cheese. So your ultra thin cheese, you're going to want to take this out of the package. However many you're doing, 20 slices come in one of these packages of cheese. If you buy the Sargento, and I'm not saying you have to, you can buy whatever you want. Each one of these slices, we are going to cut into 4. So you only need to take out as many as you want, and you'll have to take all of these little papers out from between them, which is a complete pain in the butt, and I'm not going to make you watch me, so I'll come back. All right, so we have unwrapped all of our cheese. All we're going to do is cut the cheese just like this into 4. That's all we need to do. Now our cheese crisps are the perfect size, and we were going to go ahead and move them onto the baking sheets. Place them on the parchment paper. We don't want them touching, but they can be really close to each other. They don't spread a lot, these ones. They do bubble a bit. You don't want one big piece of baked cheese. So we are going to leave spaces between them. And we are going to go for, I don't know, these are pretty good size baking sheets. So we're going to go 5 across, kind of like this, okay? And I'll come back once they're all done. All right, so we have set up our parchment sheets now, and we've preheated the oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a very low cooking temperature. You don't want to burn the cheese. You just are going to melt the cheese. Now, I'm going to put some jalapenos on some of them. I'm going to put some kosher salt and pepper on some of them. I'm going to put some everything bagel seasoning on some of them. And I'm going to put some garlic powder on some of them. And then we're going to put them in the oven. And when we put them in the oven, they'll go in for 35 minutes. They have to bake until they're melty, so 35 minutes. All right, guys, here's a look at them right out of the oven. Look at how wonderful they came out. So they're like little crackers, except they're baked cheese. And now they've been customized with our own flavors. And now we're going to take them off of the sheets, move them onto these cooling racks, and we're just going to let them firm up. Well, they're pretty firm already. Look at that. But they're a little bit greasy on the bottom. So when we move them from the parchment paper, which holds the grease, to the cooling rack, we're going to put a paper towel on top just to make sure that we get some of that oil off. And I'm just really, really happy that I can share this recipe with you guys today, because it is one of the fan favorites from the website, from the Recipe Bandit. You can see the ones that we put the jalapenos on. The jalapenos kind of got baked into there. You're not baking at a large temperature. It's enough just to dry it out and just to get this cheese to become crispy. All right, so we're going to put them all on here. Gonna have to taste one. All right, so you can see the grease that's left on the parchment paper. That's why we've put it on these paper towels. So in 35 minutes at 250 degrees, using thin cheese, we were able to create keto cheese crisps. These are very interesting and they're super delicious. Yum. These make a wonderful snack, whether or not you're following a ketogenic diet. Honestly, it's baked cheese. It's baked cheese with seasonings. And these ones have jalapenos on them. Well, I'm going to take these to the party. I'm going to put them out. I'm just going to wait for people to ask me what the heck I did, because honestly, you guys, they're delicious. So you should 100% try this. Once they're cooled, you're going to blot off the oil. You can keep them in a serving dish, in a zip top bag. You want to keep them at room temperature. You don't have to refrigerate them. Should they last? Because you know what? They don't typically last. They get eaten really quickly as soon as people know what they are. So thank you for joining us to make an unusual but really delicious snack today. You know, we're here to help you guys create delicious recipes using everyday ingredients. This is one of them. This is cheese slices. We baked cheese slices. It's delicious. It's something different. You're not going to regret trying this one, I promise. So if you guys want the recipe, like I said, it's on the website at therecipebandit.com. I'll also put it in the description. I hope you'll try this. I hope you'll try it and let me know if you do. I'm so happy that I got to share this video with you guys. I hope you will experiment with different seasonings, spices, and flavors like we did. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you like what we're doing here, please come back again and visit us. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you know when we put out new videos. We're trying to put them out every week at least. And yeah, hang around. So happy to be with you guys and so happy to be doing this. Have a great night and we'll see you again.